One last attempt. If this dies on me again, I'm done for the night. I'm over it. I'm out. I'm outie. Please don't do it again. Please. Okay, I don't think we're having issues now. I don't want to jinx it. I think we're okay. I think it's okay now. If it cuts out again. Oh, thank you. That makes me feel a little better. Which will stop telling me to do my sub anniversary. They're getting on you, okay? They're telling you to give me money. Listen to them. Okay, it seems to be working and we seem not to be having problems now, so I think we're good. I think we're back. I think it's okay. I hope. I say tentatively. Anyway. That was bright. Okay. Part of the reason I wanted to do this stream is because of stuff we talked about on last stream. I want to get into the religious stuff. The second part was because I saw this shit on Twitter today. Dating in 2022. Why do so many straight men hate astrology? I love that it's like specifically like straight men hate astrology, and it's like, okay, sure. A lot of people hate astrology. I thought it was really funny. I didn't read the article, but I wanted to on stream because I think it's kind of funny. It's just, it's interesting. Because astrology is like, it's just like any other religion. Like people get caught up, make it their entire life, and base their whole ideology and the way they behave in life around astrology. And I don't like it. It's like any other religion to me. Astrology is for witches? True. Okay, every witch girl I know believes in astrology. So like, kind of, yeah. But I saw this on Twitter and I like lost my mind. I was like, what is this article? And then I didn't read it because I was like leaving the house at that point. So I was like, I'll read it when I get home. But then I was like, you know what? Are you a witch girl? No. I kind of want to be because I want to see what it's about. I want to try. Maybe I'll try Wiccanism. Maybe that'll be like a 2-month experiment we do, and see if I can do anything cool. God, that's so warm. With me. Damn, are you out here trying to do Wiccanism? Oh, damn. Oh, I think I misheard you. I don't, witchcraft, like witch stuff, like witchy girl shit. What did you hear? What are you hearing, Foxy? Good one. Good one, buddy. Okay. When I was on dating apps, the astrology stuff was crazy because every girl I matched with always asked me what my star sign was. I think every girl I matched with asked me like what my star sign was. But no, I don't think any guy, no, I think a couple of guys asked me what my star sign was. I don't think it was a very common question from guys. But girls, every girl I matched with is always stream. Look. Yeah, I got my Wi-Fi fixed, okay? I switched ones. It was fine. I was on the wrong network here. See, it'd be interesting to see if there's any validity to astrology though to me, because I was like, I don't think there's any validity to astrology, but it'd be kind of interesting if someone could do like a meta study on if there's any like validity to like the personality types that come with each month. Because like if you could get people to like fill out a questionnaire of like how they see themselves, and if there was like some type of like pattern along like the relation of like your star sign, I think it'd be kind of interesting. I want to see it. I want to see if there is a pattern. So I think that'd be fun. But like, do you think the time of the year that you're born? Oh, I just knocked that almost. There is a study like that? Wait, do you have a link to it? Can I read it? Brady, send me that study. Send me that study. Cause I'm like, is there any relation? Like, could the time of the year that you're born in change your personality? Like, because you were born in like more cold winter months, you like developed in a different way than like kids who were born in summer months, because like you're like the first 6 months of your life are very different. Like how much you're outside, what you do. Can it like change your personality? I'm in Aries. I think that's a good thing. I don't know enough about the star signs. The only thing I know about star signs is I don't like Geminis. I don't believe in astrology shit, but I don't trust a Gemini, because every Gemini I've met in my life, not a good person. They're all shitheads. I don't trust them. They're two-faced snakes. Every fucking Gemini. Take my word for it. If you meet don't trust them. I guess it's a similar kind of psychology as birth order. Observations suggest patterns, but nothing is definite about them. Okay, so it's like you probably have like a higher likelihood of turning out one way or the other, depending on when you're born, but it's not like a deterministic thing. Very interesting. I think Aries are pretty chill though. I feel like Aries that I've met are pretty chill. Not that I would judge anyone based on their star sign. But apparently just every straight man hates astrology from this title of this article. It probably could. For instance, like my brother's a year behind me in comparison to age, and I guess that affects him. Oh, yeah, like different ages, but like, I'm wondering if like birth in different times of the year. Oh my god, my one eye is like watering really hard right now. I don't know why. My one eye just keeps watering today. It looks like I'm crying all the time. I don't know what it is. Like my one eye just starts watering like really intensely. I look stoned. And I haven't been stoned today because I've been driving. I got really high last night though. Oh my god. That's terrible. I don't want to cry on stream this soon into my career. We can't be having that. I haven't even been canceled yet. Then I can cry on stream if I ever get canceled. That'll be the rule. Okay, we're good. But you got a moon necklace? I bought this. I bought this because it was pretty. It was like one of the only, I wear like 2 pieces of jewelry and this is one of them. I actually bought this when I was in the States. It was like it was the first trip that I had done without my parents, I think. Because I went on a high school field trip we drove across the border. We drove down south to Oregon for a Shakespeare festival. And we were in a little tiny town called Ashland, Oregon. And we went into this cute little store and it was like $10 and I was like, that's so pretty. And I bought it. It's like the only jewelry I wear. So yeah, that's the story behind that. Unnecessary story, but it is no, it's like one of the only towns in the States that I really like. Like I've been to a few places in the States, but this is like the only one that I was like, I like that place. I like Ashland, Oregon. It's so cute. And they have this like massive, or not massive library, but the whole library is like a maze. And so you can like walk around and just get lost in there. It's so nice. I love that library. I would go back just for that library. I couldn't imagine being in any way cross-cultural. Summer in North America is winter in Australia. Yeah, but like then would the winter, like would the summer kids in Australia and Canada be the same? Like just like what summer is in Australia is the same as like versus like summer in Canada? Or like those, even if they're different signs, like because they're born in different seasons, they like match up more? Maybe. Astrology could have a confirmation bias effect, right? If you think you're Gemini or Two-Faced and you think you're a Gemini, you're gonna be yeah, but then you would have to like do a blind study. You'd have to like have people who don't already have strong beliefs, or you do like one with like people that have strong beliefs and don't have strong beliefs. You have to have like you have to be both, you know. Moon's totally because of astrology. Moon's also oh my god, we were driving today and my 2 friends were just like fucking around in the back of the car. And there was cops everywhere on my drive back today. And we don't know why. We think there's something like going around where I was, because there was just cops like everywhere we drove. But then he's like, yo, should we moon them? I was like, don't fucking don't do it. Please don't do it. I was like, don't get me in trouble today. I don't need this. They're stupid. I don't think they would have actually done it, but I'm scared. Do you identify with the Lilith archetype as a modern woman? What is the Lilith archetype? I don't know enough about Christian mythology. Is Lilith from Christianity? I'm pretty sure Lilith is Christian mythology, but I have no idea. Do you reject or embrace Babylon? You're gonna have to elaborate, okay? I'm not religious. Not Christian religious. I've read the Bible once when I was way younger, just for fun. I wanted to see what it was about. I wanted to see what all the hype was. I had Christian friends, so I read the Bible, and I just didn't get it. Well, it would ruin the consistency of personality matching signs. If being born in winter and having that sign, the sign wouldn't be different based on region. So even if there was some valid observation pattern, I don't see it being useful for anything. Oh, true. Because then you'd be like, oh, it depends more on the season. So it'd be more like useful to say like, I was born in this season, and that would give us more info on your personality rather than like just the sign itself. Do you not recognize you're currently living through end times? Bro, people have been saying that for the last like 200 years. Okay? You gotta give me more than that. Also, if it's end times, I don't care. I sincerely don't. If we die, we die. It happens. Oh, Jesus Christ. What are the signs, homie? I love the modern woman quotes. What is that one conservative post I see everywhere? It's always like the reject modernity, embrace tradition. And it's always like some like Swedish couple in the background. I don't know why. Look, man, I'm Sikh, kind of Hindu. Like, I'm from a village that believes in both. Okay, we have like both type of temples. I believe in reincarnation at the most. That is like, if anything, we're gonna be reincarnated. You die, if you lived a good life now, you'll come back as a human again. If you lived a bad life, you'll come back as a fly. Okay, or somewhere in between a human and a fly. So, look, y'all can believe in all the end time shit, but I don't know about all that. America maybe, but the Neanderthal. Oh, Netherlands. I don't know why I read that so wrong. Netherlands is dope right now. You do not believe in the life beyond the reincarnation cycle? Oh, I don't know, man. You know what's? I might believe in something. I don't know what it is yet, because I just don't think there's like good proof for any of these. How do you ever go to like prove that one of these religions is like correct in its beliefs, or it's like predictions about like, oh, I just ripped through my jeans. Oh my god. Let's see. Implying flies aren't superior. I mean, they have wings, but like they also die after like 2 days, I think. So I don't know. Yeah, this time of year is nice in the Netherlands. Fall is beautiful there too. November to May is misery. Hey, aren't you planning to move back? Oh no, you're moving to Denmark? I don't know, you're moving somewhere in Europe, you said. I don't know where, but just give it a thought without fearful rejection. You consist of souls. You achieve either eternal life or death after going through cycles. Maybe. It's possible, but that's only if we consist of souls, and I don't even necessarily believe like that there's like a specific soul. And maybe we just float around in the ether after. I don't know if there's like an eternal... To France, that's right, France. All of Europe is the same to me. In some years, likely. When you get that stability. I only have 2 souls and they're just my feet. What stops you from murdering people? Legal consequences. Oh, yeah, sorry, that was like kind of the thing that triggered this whole religious discussion. We had like a little bit of religious discussion on last stream. And then there was this TikTok where the girl was like, she was a Christian. She was like, if you don't believe in God, what stops you from murdering or raping people? And I'm like, is God the only thing that is stopping you? Like, if there wasn't a God, would you just be out here doing that? I don't think so. Because I'm like, I don't need God to tell me that's just wrong. Okay? I can see the consequences of that. And I can say, like, yeah, that's probably not a good thing to do. But I don't need God to tell me that. If God's the only reason you're not doing that, you're not a good person. I'm sorry. If without God you would do that stuff, you're probably not a very good person. Because you're like, well, I would do this terribly horrible thing, but God will send me to hell if I do. Why is that your only justification for not doing something? That is not a good justification. You can't prove any of that. There's not just a void. We've been fed this nonsense for too long. Seek the kingdom within. You speak truth here. Okay. We're like, I don't even know where to start with this. You can't, like, there's no proof for any of this, right? Like, there's, like, it seems like you're, I would guess, Christian from the way you're speaking. But the problem is like, religions have predated Christianity for like a long period of time. So to act like Christianity would be like the correct answer is probably not that like just because they're older they're correct. It just means that like if all of these have like very little gnosis, miracles are healed. Wait, I don't know what that word means. What is that? God can allow powers. We have like no proof that there is any God, and I always say even if there is a God, I don't think he's someone who cares. He also builds a new market mechanism for decentralized finance. Common Greek noun for knowledge. Oh. Okay. So that wasn't even a Christian word. What was I saying? I totally forgot. I'm so tired. We were out for a bit. Now I'm home. I'm tired. Let's see. Where were we at? Oh my god, I was calling out something. You have to provide some proof that there's like a god, and like if all of the religions have just as little evidence as any other religion, then I'm gonna assume that like probably some of the older ones have like more correct ideas, because if their god was true, if your god was true, why did he wait so long to tell people that he existed, or that, like to come into it, like to come forward like to humans? Because according to the Bible, like the world's only like what 2,000 years old or something like that. Oh god, this is gonna be into a whole weird territory. I was gonna talk about moral philosophy and all that type of stuff. That's usually what I do here, but the existence of God is a whole other question. The only eternity that exists is time without measure. I mean, yeah, is that not just the definition of eternity? This chat is a riot every time. God gonna cause MHA to become real, guys. I don't know what that means. You guys type things in my chat. Maybe I'm just too like, am I too old? Am I too old to like know all the slang that I'm supposed to know? Someone sent me a text earlier and it said like, oh, I'm throwing an HP party tomorrow. And I was like, are you doing a Harry Potter party, like themed party? I was like, what the fuck? He's like, it's house party. And I was like, oh, I'm so stupid. I had no idea what that meant. He was like, it's like an HP party. I just assumed he was throwing like some themed like Harry Potter party. And I was like, interesting. It's like middle of the year, but okay, you do you. And then he's like, it's a house party. And I'm so dumb. Recently I was teaching a class about schemas and behavior, and I was told by a student to abandon science and repent. Oh, by a student? Why are they going to school for psychology? What is the point? Why would you go into school, waste all this money just to like yell at your teachers? Belief is real, buildings getting bigger, tax-free is real, intolerance and bigotry is real. I don't even know what that means. What is it? Why you guys always go off in my chat like crazy? God said that people will deny him. Yeah, if you have no proof behind you, people are gonna deny you. Unfortunately, that's just how it goes. If God did create us, he gave us logic and reasoning, and the fact that he would exist in a void beyond logic and reasoning, but create beings that could only understand logic and reasoning would be kind of contradictory to do. But you know, why doesn't he just make like an orb in every city that grants absolute knowledge of him to every person? Yeah. Oh yes, house party. Look. HP printer party. That's the type of party I want to go to, okay? Free printing. Okay? At when my university charges me like, what, 30 cents for every sheet of paper I want to print? Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. I pay enough for the school, okay? I should not be charged to print paper, to print my papers. Fuck that school. Anyway. We cannot deny the answer on. Now when I ask random people and they say they will like me, it will be true. Nice. Oh god, we've like gone so off the rails already. And we are 20 minutes into stream. We had a off the rails start, and now we're already like way off track. I just wanted to go through this article, and then we were gonna talk a little bit about religion. And now what are we doing? What are we talking about? Whew. Oh, okay, good. Derail, go ahead. Throw in a topic. Whatever topic you want. I don't think anyone knows what the derail button does. Maybe I need to back to the actual, derail back to the topic. Okay, well, we'll go through this very hilarious article, which I thought at first, I thought it was gonna be satire. And I was like, oh shit, it's real. Brady and Zeron, I'm assuming both of you are straight. Hesitantly. Why do you guys hate astrology? Please, discuss. Why do you, what is it? What happened? Why do you straight men hate astrology so much? Look at how big the hole in these jeans are. It's awful. My whole fucking knee is out. Fucking slutting it up in these jeans. Everything's out. Okay. Gotta check something. No, we're good. Okay, cool. Anyway, let's go through this astrology article. Oh god, this is gonna be like an opinion piece from like what this girl. I'm bi and I think arrow, but I hate astrology because it's a completely arbitrary factor to discriminate against people based on what like literally less basis in reality than race, and race is pretty bullshit. Ooh, you know what? Fair. I like that answer. That's a good answer. I don't like people who get so into astrology that they like start actually like making judgments about people based on their astrological signs. I joke about the Gemini thing, but there's people who probably will not like talk to a Gemini because of, like they think they're two-faced, unironically, or like won't date certain people because it's like, oh, our signs aren't compatible. And I'm like, bro, you're limiting your life so much through this, which is my big problem with most religions, is that it limits your life so much. Because people who get like fundamentalist about anything, they're like, you get so wrapped up in the your beliefs that like you can't think about anything else through any other lens other than like that one ideology. I mean, I guess it happens with political beliefs now a little bit too, but it is one of those things where like people get so wrapped up in their religion, whether it be like Christianity or astrology, or honestly even atheism at times. Like people get so wrapped up in the idea of like anti-religion or anti-theism that it becomes your lens to view everything. You can't go outside of that view. So for like a Christian person, it's hard to assess the world, and like if you're a fundamentalist, it's hard to assess the world in any way that isn't like through that lens of religion or your religion. But even for like atheists I've met, there's like atheists who can never even think about like there being something like mystical in the world, or being something like possibly like not strictly scientific that exists, because unless it, like that there's that scientific basis for it, they're like, it can't be real. Right? Like they'll never believe in any type of like alternative forces in nature or anything like that, which I think is like is not a good way to view things, because it's like in my head, I'm like, I think there's like, I'm a pretty like science-based person. I think like most of my beliefs I try to like take out like statistics and facts, like try to like have the best like to get my views straight. But like I don't limit my views based on like one lens, or I try not to as much as possible. Like there's like, I've had weird experiences in my life that are like very paranormal, and it's like, I'm not someone who would be into all the paranormal stuff, but I've had experiences in my life that I can't explain any other way. So it's like, I'm not gonna limit myself from like trying to understand those experiences just because they're not like based in science or fact. But yeah, anyway, I think that's like one of the big things. And especially with astrology, people who like are really hyped up on astrology, they get like so into it and they like start judging people based off it. I don't like that. I don't really hate it, it's just harmless, but I would discourage it replacing personality assessments if true. Astrology is great if someone makes known that they think a lot of astrology just have given you a very clear red flag. It's like certain people, it's like when I was talking to my friend, and she's on a dating app now, and I'm not on dating apps anymore. But I was like, if I was, my first question to any guy I talk to is like, are you an Andrew Tate fan? Okay? For guys, it's like, do you believe in astrology? It's like, these should be your initial questions to like filter people really fast. It's a good way. Hey, Amazing Wolf Skeptic, how's it going? Even some of the in practices personality manager are kind of garbage true. I think it's possible, but without evidence, I'll never believe in it. That's fair. If you're gonna make a positive claim, it's up to you to provide evidence that that thing exists. As Carl Sagan said before, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. That's true. I just think like, even if that's true, like I think like you shouldn't like let your beliefs or your mind be limited by this, like, it needs to have like hard scientific backing, or like, ooh, I just shook my table a lot. Hard like backing for me to believe in it or try to like understand it, because I think a lot of times like we like disregard or dismiss like things that like might not be explainable through like our current understanding of like science or the world. I don't know, I guess that's maybe like the philosophy in me. Also, I talked about this on last stream, but there might be a new philosophy segment that I bring onto this channel where I send out philosophy papers or like philosophy readings to like my Discord, and then people can like read them. And then I'm gonna have like a sign up sheet where people can come on to like actually onto the channel and discuss with me and other people. And it probably is gonna be like 2 or 3 people a week to discuss like a particular reading. And you can come on to like discuss it, and we'll have like an hour-long segment of discussing that philosophy piece before we go on to like the regular stream. I think it'd be kind of like a fun way to like add some of you guys into like the calls and like get more like chatting going. But I think I want to do that once a week, where like I'll send out like the week before, I'll send out like a philosophy paper, and people can like read it if they want, and if they have read it, then they can sign up for like a discussion like on this channel for the following week after. Yeah, anyway, that's something I'm like leaning towards. I'm like trying to set it up, I'm trying to plan it. I'm writing down some stuff. I'll probably over the weekend write out a whole thing and post it on my Discord so people can kind of like see it. So if like you're interested in that, join my Discord, because I will be sending out like updates for that project. So I think it'd be kind of a fun way to get people involved. Yeah, so Fessa, we'll also prove you exist. They can be based in science and unexplainable phenomena that can just be hallucinations. That's true, but I think even like trying to like reduce it to that, I think there's like things that we maybe like can't explain. Like there's gonna be things that happen in this world that aren't just like hallucinations or delusions, that I think like we shouldn't disregard entirely. Because like I think when you try to like explain it by like only the current terms that we have and only the current knowledge we have, we disregard like moving forward. Like we've gotten to this point in like general culture of like scientism, where like science has to explain everything. And if it can't be explained by science, it's probably not real or it doesn't really exist. And I feel like that's kind of where we've gotten with a lot of discussions around things. And I don't know, I don't like that viewpoint necessarily at all times. I think for a lot of times it's like good for like a lot of discussions, especially like medical stuff or like, you know, things happening like biologically in the world. That's totally different. But like I think with like certain like, I don't know, I'm in a weird space with that. Of like, how do you decide what we should like disregard and what we shouldn't? Are you against empiricism? Yes or no? No, of course not. I'm not against empiricism. I just think like there's times where it's okay to step outside the lines of like just being like empirically like completely like 100% reliable and valid. Like I think you can step outside those lines sometimes to have interesting discussions. Even if it's just in a philosophical sense, it doesn't necessarily need to be in a scientific or like, oh, we're proving this type of sense. I think you can have like interesting philosophical discussions that shouldn't always necessarily have to relate back to like a scientific and proof-based understanding, if that makes sense. I don't know. The correct answer to do you like Andrew Tate is journal, please who? Yeah, literally. Science, the process of amassing large amounts of money to be right. No, that's not true. God, I have like such a broad range of people in my chat tonight. I agree, honestly, I'm agnostic, not against unscientific perspectives, just don't invest in them personally right now. Yeah, I think that's like the thing is like, I think especially with like unscientific things, don't put like religion. It's okay to be religious, and I don't hate you because you're religious, but don't put your entire life stock and your entire worldview into religion, because you'll cut off so much other stuff. But I think it's okay to be religious and have like a belief in maybe some higher power or something else that might exist. Like I said, I've had paranormal phenomenon in my life that cannot be explained through anything scientific or anything real. And if it hadn't happened to me in my own life, I would never fucking believe someone who told me that. But like, I'm like, I know what happened to me and I know that was fucking real. I know exactly what happened. But I could not explain it in any terms that anyone would believe me if I told them that story or those stories from my childhood. So I don't know. It's one of those things that I'm like, I think it's okay to let your brain go past that a little bit. Science is a form of philosophy, very funny. Well, yeah, but I mean like philosophical, like science has some like empirical tested basis, whereas a lot of philosophy, like we have the philosophy of science, or like scientific philosophy, and those are separate branches of philosophy or science. But like we can talk about like things in a philosophical sense of like, we can kind of be a little bit more abstract with our understandings rather than like having to have science where we need to like have direct proofs for everything, right? Does that make more sense? On a macro level, it's probably true though. We can get weird with deep level science, but we have immense knowledge to the point like we can prove almost everything. I don't know if that's true. I think like we always believe that, but I think like the more time goes on, we realize how much we don't know, right? Like I think 100 years ago, people would think we have answers to almost everything in the world. And then like 100 years later, here we are with like massive amounts of more knowledge. But I mean, even if something magical were to happen, the fact that it's in a reality makes it scientific. We should need new models for it. Yeah, okay, that's actually a really good way to explain it. Is like something we can't explain just means we don't have an understanding to explain it right now. It doesn't mean it's like magical or something. It just means we don't have the models or like the technology to understand those things. Like spirits might be real, right? And like people who've had ghost interactions, those all might be real, but we just don't have the technology to understand it yet, right? Like it is completely possible that those things exist. Yeah, I don't know. It's my job to hate religion. Me too. Science can expand to include things we currently can't explain. Yeah, I really like that explanation, Brady. Last stream was kind of funny due to miscommunication. You were saying that's not a good argument. Then I said I wasn't even making an argument. Lol. What? I don't remember what happened last stream. Robin had a week. Then how can you say it exists without using a method of proof and documentation? I think experiences can explain. Like documentation and proof isn't the same thing, right? Like you can have documentation of an occurrence. And I guess that's proof of it. But when I say like, I mean like a scientific proofing is like different than like just having proof of something existing. It's like the steps of like proving something like, and how it happened. Like, or maybe a better word for this is like an explanation or a model to like say how that happened. There's context for oh my God, chat's moving fast. But there's a context for that a method of material analysis was different, mainly due to religion being a primary factor in the interpretation of not even 100 years ago though. Religion had phased out quite a bit in the scientific field even 100 years ago. I never said it was the same thing. No, I'm not going after you. I'm just saying like I was just trying to find a better word for it. Chill, okay, homie. It's not that deep. Yeah, like I said, I think Brady did a really good explanation of what, like, kind of where I kind of stand is, like, I think a lot of stuff that we can't explain that we pass off as, like, mystical or paranormal or religious is, like, it could be real. We just don't have the understanding to, like, try to explain it or understand it yet. Do you like Andrew Tate? He tries to bully betas like me, and I don't know what to do. Fuck Andrew Tate, okay? Oh my God. Fuck that dude. Who cares? Be a beta, I don't care. The memento, yeah, like the moment an afterlife or something spiritual is observable, they become scientific. This is why science as a belief system is an odd concept. Yeah. Oh God, Brady, you're so good at putting my words into better words. Thanks for the follow. It's just a process of observing anything currently explainable or not. Yeah, like there's like the observation and the documentation of an event, and then there's the attempt to like explain and theorize and create theories around an event, right? That's why I said proof and documentation. Yeah, I know. I'm not disagreeing with you. I experienced a pterodactyl outside my old house's window. I was fucking certain, and I'm certain that was an actual experience. I didn't see a pterodactyl. I don't even know what happened, but it was very not... Wait, but it was very not a live pterodactyl. Wait, what? I am so confused. Were you on drugs? No offense. No, if that was the case, Charles Darwin wouldn't be shunned by the entire... When was Darwin around? I'm just saying, like the scientific field, like the religion aspect had like even 100 years ago fallen out more, like quite a bit. Like even like in the 1920s, like between the 1900s and 1950s, it started to go down, especially in the religious fields. Religion fell out of favor with scientific communities even way before that. It took time, but I'm not like, I'm just saying it didn't have the same like, well, you also didn't specify what you mean by documentation. Like documentation is anything that just like records an event, right? Like anything that records like the happenings. So like you can have a video of something happening. It doesn't mean you can like that explains what happened. It just means that you like had documentation of the thing happening, right? That's also very broad. Yeah, no, yeah. I'm saying that it was what I saw, but the reality of the situation was that it was not actually real. Okay, yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but like I think like we can try to make distinction between delusions and like mystical happenings, right? Like these are really like hard things. I'm not saying like there's hard lines that we can draw right now. I'm just saying like I'm just trying to say that there's like, don't cut yourself from all other ideas or just because this was back in the 1870s, 1880s, so it wasn't phased. I didn't say it was completely phased. I literally just said it wasn't completely phased out. I said it took time, but it had fallen out of favor at the time. Charles Darwin was an outcast and shunned by the church, which had a big control of his society at the time. He literally had to cover his face in public for the rest of his life because his opinion. Okay, but in the scientific community, okay, there's like, here's the thing. In the scientific community, it was okay to do these things. In broader society, because broader society was still very religious, you might have been shunned by broader society. But in the scientific community, there was room for expansion that was like people who were non-religious, who want to make non-religious discoveries could. I think that's the difference. Whereas like, if you go before the 1600s, right, you couldn't even have science that like went against the church because they had so much control at the time. The church had significantly lost like control of society and like the institutions by the 1900s or in the 1900s. But you know, despite what reality can confirm or not confirm, we can experience and have real emotions based on things that are not real. Yeah, 100%. The experience was real, but reality did not match up. Yeah, it's hard to say, like, and again, I'm not trying to draw hard lines here because it's not an easy thing to do. I'm just saying, like, I think, like, there's things that can happen that we just don't have a system to understand yet, and we shouldn't dismiss those happenings completely because we might dismiss things that actually really did happen instead of, it was very much in favor. It was the polar opposite of phased out. Also, to respond to what you said, my response, Leonardo da Vinci. Wait, what? I don't know what that means. But it was definitely like, you can't argue that it wasn't falling out of favor at that point. And again, like I said, broader society, yes, it was still very heavily like influenced broader society, but within the scientific field, it absolutely had come down quite a bit. Not quite. We had so many scientific like advancements by that point, like, or like at least understandings that were like not necessarily religious at that point. It's amazing what a brain creates. Yeah. Sorry, just to go back to that little tangent rant, was like, I think sometimes things happen and we're really quick, especially like as we get, like I think when we're kids things happen and like you're not so quick to dismiss it, but as you get older you're really quick to dismiss like weird happenings because you're like you think that your brain must be playing tricks on you, but I don't know if that's always necessarily true. I think things can happen and we don't have the like I said, like I had a lot of paranormal experiences growing up, and I think that those things happened and I think they were probably real. And I just don't think there's any way to understand them, like in the current, like anything we have currently, like any system or any technology that we have for like document or test things. We don't have anything to test this like type of phenomenon yet, right? The church still had an influence on the scientific community. It might still have had an influence, but it significantly decreased. I don't know if you're like there was significant decrease between like, I think what was it, like 1600 to 1800s and by the 1900s, that's when you had like the more, to what extent? I don't know how to like show you a sliding bar scale that like where it was, but I know this for a fact because like most of my criminology textbooks talk about this, of like how the church lost favor with like with institutions between like criminology and science. That's the only reason I know a lot of this is because of that. Science progresses, more religious appear. As society progresses, more religious like beliefs appear. Religious like, oh, because you're gonna say any like extreme political beliefs are like religious, which I actually kind of agree with. Like if you're extreme left or extreme right, I think like you treat your ideology as like a religion that you can't deviate from, and I think that's like my problem with so many people today. I like run into so many people who I'm like, I try to have conversations with, and it's really hard because they can't like step outside like their ideological view. It's really hard to have like general conversations with them about like political space or political political ideas, just because like, oh my god, what did I click? I'm currently working with several people with schizophrenia, and you have to work with them from what is real in their perspective. It's challenging. I can imagine that's hard, especially when you can't like understand it. If it's all happening in their head, there's like no way to like view it from your perspective either. You have to like take them at their word. We talked about this one night of like, you have to work with people where they're at and like work backwards from there and like treat every situation. Oh, it was because we're talking about like validity of someone's feelings and like someone's experience. Like, is it good to like validate somebody's beliefs or experiences infinitely? Because there was some article I read and I asked you and Ed about it on stream. But yeah, it's like the same thing for you as a psychologist. You have to like validate what your client comes in with. But for like a general person, I don't know if I'd like, you obviously don't have that same space. I can definitely agree that part is tough. The policy at our workplace though is to always tell him it's not real and he doesn't have to worry about it, which always feels hard to do. Oof. Yeah, social work and psychology are going to be two different fields, like in how you address those things. Like I know my aunt works I have family that works in the social work field, and it's like you have to work with them very differently because you have to work with them from point of you have to work with them in order to help them get back into like regular, like working with the regular institution, because you're trying to like help them like in like legal standing, whereas like a mental health professional is actually trying to like mentally help them. So a very different like place to go at that from. Ooh, okay. Are we ever gonna get to this article? Probably not. We were just gonna talk about astrology. Damn. I learned about psychology. Oh, that's sad. That makes it hard because you don't want to be doing that. You don't want to make people feel bad, but you also know like you can't do anything else in your position because that's your protocol, right? As I optimistically swipe through dating apps with my birthstone adorned fingers, I find myself caught off guard. Don't swipe right if you believe in star signs, I read. As someone who has spent more than a decade completely captivated by astrology, this feels personal. Damn. But what if that was me, like, no religious people? What if I said, like, no religious people allowed, or no Christians? Would that be, like, personal in the same way? Surely these potential suitors can't be talking about me. My fingers tighten on my Terra-themed phone case as I fume over the unfair, preconceived opinions of men I've never even met. Oh, please. That's what dating apps are, okay? You see someone on your fucking phone and you swipe left or right, okay, based on how they look. I'm just saying, to act like it's like such a horrible thing for people on dating apps to be judgmental, that is literally all that dating apps are, is you being judgmental for 2 hours as you swipe back and forth on people. That is literally the whole point of dating apps, to be fucking judgmental. Are you fucking kidding me? That's what astrology is, you. Yeah, actually true. Literally astrology is just about like judging people by the fucking place they were born or the time they were born. So if I said it was the case that Leo da Vinci would have been hanged, which he wasn't. One instant from two different, like you talk about Darwin in the 1900s and then Da Vinci in the 1600s, like you're talking about like individual cases from like vast different periods of time. Like individual cases don't infer a pattern. You could like 100% Christianity had way more influence on the general life in the like 1800s. And not like compared to like the 1900s, I think. Institutional power for sure, because the church had no institutional power in the 1900s in America. There was like they didn't control any of the major institutions, whereas like back in the 1600s, I'm pretty sure the church still controlled all the legal proceedings. I'm almost positive of that. I think it was the 1600s. It was still like the church was still in charge of like determining guilt. But okay, I don't know. I can't believe you're judging me so harshly on a platform that is literally nothing but people judging. Yeah, literally. Whether you fall prey to astrology tells me leagues more than astrology ever could. Damn. UK was in the 1900s for sure. What do you mean? That religion has a hold? I don't think even in the 1900s in the UK that the religion had like influence on the actual like on institutions. I'm talking about like institutional power. Did they run like legal stuff? Did they run like okay, maybe. I mean, I would need to look over history more in the UK to know that one. I know here for sure that's not the case. I'm literally from the UK. Okay. Well, I'm from Canada, North America, and it was not the same here. But I'll look into it. I'll read more history, maybe. Astrology tattoos are a major ick, one boldly asserts. Another match kindly lets me know that as a journalist, I am too clever to believe in all this rubbish. Yeah, and you would probably say the same thing to anyone else who's religious. Like, this person's acting as if like this is like the biggest discrimination. We do this to like every other religion. Like, I say this about like every religion. I rushed to Instagram in search of reassurance from my male followers in the form of a poll. And instead of insulting 30% of them confess they would never date someone who's keen on astrology, I'm offended but not shocked. Really? Like, you were so deterred by like a couple of mean comments that you rushed to Instagram in reassurance? Girl, get off your fucking phone. If this is what you use social media for, you need to like leave social media. If you need validation and reassurance from your followers, that is not a good sign. You are not utilizing social media in a healthy way. That is bad. That is a bad statement. Oh, Brady, back me up here, please. I can't be the only one who sees the big issue with that. Oh my god. That is not good. A study by Pew Research found that 37% of women believe in astrology compared to just 20% of men. And sadly, that's okay. Even 37% of women, that's not like a huge percentage. And also, was there like some like sliding scale of like how much they believed? Because it'd be interesting to which ones strongly believe and which ones mildly believe. Because I'm sure like most of these 37% are probably like mild, like, oh yeah, like I believe in like it somewhat, right? Like, it'd be interesting if you had like a Likert scale of this, because I think like I don't think this is like a 37 believe strongly in like astrology, but it might be. This isn't the first time I've come up with those again with an astrology aversion. There are thousands of viral memes and TikTok videos that all seem to echo the same opinion. People who like astrology are naive, stupid, unhinged, and undateable. We say this about so many groups, especially religious people. We joke about this with like Christians all the time, like online. Remember the I don't know if anyone watched, like it was really big in 2016 or 2018 to do the what was it? Who were the two Christian girls? The Bethany and oh, I forget her name. Girl Defined. Those videos. We all like everyone made jokes about them. That was such a big thing to joke about. Was like those like Christian girls that you couldn't date. To act like this is like, oh my god, I try not to get at the root of the issue. Why do straight cis men seem to? Oh, of course, straight cis men. Why don't you just throw white in there too? Gotta throw white in. Then you have all the key terms. I'm sorry, I'm pissed off tonight. It's okay. Canada is weird though. Why is Canada? What the fuck? Greed made others, enslave others. Religious morality freed slave. Religion isn't all bad. Religious morality did not free slaves. I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree on that one. But that's okay. I don't think religion is all bad, but I think that's a weird statement. It's like religion freed the slaves. And greed also. There's like literally things about slavery in the Bible. The Bible literally promotes slavery at times. What are you talking about? Yeah, it prescribes slavery. Oh, okay, you're also Canadian. I'll accept it then. You can say it. It's done both. Yeah, but you said it as if it did one and not the other. But yeah, like it specifically states that it should be, that slavery is pretty much okay. It never states that we should free slaves. I don't know about that one, Chief. Yeah, that's true, that's fair. Oh my god, Trudeau's new haircut though, that is goddamn ugly. This man lost the one thing people liked him for, and that was his looks. Yikes. I do not think slavery... Oh, that's good. I'm glad you don't think slavery is good. Okay. Well, some of the most successful astrologers are men. Really? Astrology is typically seen as a woman's club. According to the psychologist and sex therapist Barbara Santini, astrology has been feminized over time, meaning many men dismiss astrology purely because its demographic is largely made up of women and queer folk. That, and it's also just like my birthday is May 11th. I don't know. I don't know enough about astrology other than like but there's like, again, to act like, it's not like no one's like unvalidly dismissing it. There's not really much evidence proving like anything with astrology, but okay, well, let's keep going. Astrology, advertising, and merchandise, from mystical stationery to zodiac makeup palettes, are undeniably directed towards women and femmes, playing into gendered stereotypes. Even astrological social media accounts have feminine screen names. Take, for example, Glossy Zodiac and Astrology Babe. As a result, many men don't feel welcome in the community, react by guarding their masculinity and undermining. I don't think that's what it is, but that's okay. If you hate astrology, you hate women and queer people. Well, it's quite the reach. That's what I'm saying. It feels like that's... No, it's just insecurity. No, I think it's like the stupidity of astrology. I felt that way at one point. Wait, May 11th is Gemini? Dang. I don't trust you, Beta Tyler, okay? I don't believe in astrology, but the one thing I do believe is that Geminis are not good. Not good, my dude. I'm a little wary. Stars are real, no, I'm a Taurus with a Taurus moon. Oh, shit. I just believed him. I don't know what the different months are. I have no idea. I just know I'm a Virgo. I'm born on like September 6th, and that's the only thing I know is that I'm a Virgo. This creates a negative perception of astrology and the women who like it. For some men, the refusal of astrology is linked to toxic masculinity, which doesn't allow them to enjoy the same things as women. It's not that deep. It's really not. It's not that deep. It's just I think women are, I don't know, it's hard. Like, women are also more likely to practice wickedness, and maybe it might be like women are more inclined to like the mystical, whereas men might not be in the same way. That might be the reason. I don't know if it's necessarily linked to like toxic masculinity. Oh, I'm a virgin. Yeah, we knew that, Emsron, don't worry. More frustrating, there's a huge misconception around astrology actually is when Jack, Hinge, or Joe on Tinder thinks about astrology, his mind is likely to jump to newspaper, horoscope, and memes, and that's part of the problem. Both these forms of star sign astrology, which ignores the constituent birth chart. There's no way that all Virgos will come into money this week, or every single Taurus is materialistic foodie who loves a lion. This person was definitely a Virgo. Star signs are just a form of entertainment, not the pinnacle of astrology. It's the birth chart, a map of the sky at the time you were born that reveals the good stuff. It's the details exactly where the planet was at the... Okay, that's fine, but how do you link the planets being in a certain place to like somebody's personality, right? Like, they gotta understand when they write that, like, just because it's more detailed doesn't mean it's valid. It's like, yeah, but like when we go into like where exactly the stars were when you were born, that's when we get into the good stuff. It's like, you still can't prove to me that any of it's real. Some astrology. I feel like Iggy's gonna pop in my chat any minute, starts yelling at me. I'm so sorry if Iggy watches this back. I love you, girl, but y'all crazy. Every planet has its own unique energy, and their placement reveal little nugget of information about each person. Okay, again, like, this is the type of stuff. It's like, you can't expect like everyone to be on board with astrology or not judge it, because this shit does sound kind of insane. Like, you can't write this and be like, yeah, people aren't gonna think I'm a little bit crazy. It's like when I talk to religious people, I always think religious people are a little bit crazy. When you're that religious, I'm gonna assume you're a little crazy. You have to be. You have to be to involve yourself with all this stuff. Because if you weren't a little crazy, you wouldn't believe it. You have to be a little bit like, you know, you have to be willing to believe in something mystical or like unprovable. And that's not just like, for me, it's like, I don't disregard that whatever is unprovable. Oh, thank you. I don't disregard things that are unprovable, but I don't like wholesale believe them. So it's this whole thing of like, there might be like a God that exists, or there might be gods out there. And I won't disregard it, but I won't put my faith in any of them because I don't have any hard evidence, right? Like that's the difference. Is like, I don't think we should wholesale disregard these ideas, but if there's no like concrete proof, if there's no way to like test these ideas, then it's not something that I would ever put like my beliefs in. For fair treatment, I will require the next woman I romantically interact with take my paper airplane collection very seriously, and only then can I take astrology seriously. Fair. That's good trade. I would take a paper airplane collection seriously. I like paper airplanes. It's fun. Men are raised to not care about their own emotions, which probably leads to them not being as inclined to mystical side. That actually might be true. There probably is like larger things at play, but just to say it's like because what men can't like do anything that women like is like probably a pretty like surface level analysis. Men are raised to not care about their, oh wait, astrology has revealed to me how much free time some people have. Damn. Vague. No, I don't know if it's necessarily that. I think people get excited about different things, like they get really into stuff. That'd be like me saying that like every Christian has too much time on their hands because they're way too into that shit. Like if you've read the whole Bible, yikes. But you know what, it's like that kind of thing. It's like anything is going to take time, and it's okay to believe in things and dedicate your time to things you enjoy. But to like make it your whole life and your whole ideological view, that's where you get into some territory where it's like, ooh, you got to back off it a little bit. This is becoming too much of your life. Every planet has its own unique energy, and their placement reveals a little information from their sexual kings and likely career paths or attachment style romantic tendencies. Okay, but this is the thing. You can say that these things are like based on like your stars, but like we also know like the attachment styles and like how they develop within children in the first 6 months of life in regard to their parents. Like, you can't tell me this is based on the stars when we already know that, like, a lot of this attachment style and even romantic tendencies actually have a lot to do with, like, your early years in your childhood and how you, like, develop in regard to your parents. But okay. For example, whatever, I don't care. Admittedly, I probably wouldn't believe in astrology if I didn't know this and thought the astrology meant that every Aquarius has the same trait. Men might have an issue with being reduced to a vague box, and can we blame them? Male astrologer says, look, the watered down star sign astrology that's being put out, it's not the full story. Men are victims too. Jesus Christ. Why are we like, it's like, oh, you're a victim if you like didn't get a chance to be exposed to astrology. No, shut the fuck up. It's like any other religion. Girl, it's not that deep. Ironically, male resistance to astrology can be written in the stars. In astrology, the sun represents masculine energy. Christ. The sun is all about your core values, and it's ruled by a fixed sign, so men tend to be a little more stubborn in their beliefs. Oh my god, I died. Astrologer and manifesting coach Melanie explains the sun is the center of our solar system. It's stuck in one place and the planets move around it. In the same way men, okay. Oh wait, no, men naturally expect the views of women around them to meet theirs. This feels really reductionist, right? Like we're just reducing men to like all men expect the views of women to move around theirs and meet theirs. I don't like that. I don't like statements like that when you generalize a whole group of people. All of these people are the same. That don't sound good. I don't like that. Don't do that. Don't do that to people. Hi, preacher. Interestingly, Bentley Moore has never had a paying male customer. Whenever men show interest in booking a reading, they never go through with it. One guy mentioned that he was scared of what it would reveal. I think men are stoic, stick to what they know. If a man is more receptive to astrology, it'll probably show in his chart lots of feminine placements. Okay. Is this okay? Male discomfort with astrology could stem from social conditioning that dates back to witch trials of the Middle Ages. Didn't we all learn in high school that those things weren't good and that they just randomly killed women who like survived other death trials? Like, You think people still care about that? Do you think Americans are educated enough on history to make that connection? I'm sorry, you're wrong, okay? Every American I talk... No, I have a lot of American fans. I'm not going to say that. Anyways. The one night stand who was creeped out when he saw a sage and crystal on your night. Yeah, it's giving Major Burn the witch vibe. To be fair, if I felt like someone could put like a fucking witchy curse, cast a spell on me, I would also be a little bit terrified, a little bit scared, a little nervous. Would you not? Is that not a normal reaction? When you see someone who's like, if, let's say it is real, right? And this person does have the power to fucking curse you. Yeah, I'd also be a little freaked out. But okay. In the medieval period and even before that, many women earned a living from spiritual trades such as herbalism and divination, which were seen as feminine gifts. However, as the Catholic Church grew wealthier and more powerful, started to vilify these trades. Even though astrology was still studied by male scholars, women were persecuted for similar practices. Women were caught performing evil acts. Whatever. Maybe that's why men see astrology as false and threatening. It's a belief that's been passed down from us. Why do people believe this is how that works? This is not, when we say passed down through ancestors, it's usually through storytelling. We talk about like beliefs get passed down from ancestors because you get your beliefs from your parents. It's not like just something that's like, I don't know, osmosis into you through your mother's womb that you have these beliefs. That's not like, people always talk about like beliefs being passed down as if it's like some like innate thing that like, because your mother had a certain brain, you are also gonna have all the same thoughts because her thoughts are gonna go into your head through the womb. That's what people, but that's not like, no one was talking, like no one was teaching these men like growing up like, oh, these Salem witch trials and all this type of stuff. No, you probably learned about it once in high school and forgot about it and you barely passed the test on it, okay? Jesus. It's not real, but if it happened, I would be a little freaked out, haha. Yeah, pretty much. Like, also, it doesn't help that every witch girl that I meet is a little crazy. They're a little crazy. Like, not like if they can't hex me, they're probably gonna go stab me. Oh, now I'm generalizing people. Never mind, that's mean. Not every witch woman, but a lot of them just happen to be a little more intense than the average woman. I would never treat a woman who believes in astrology like she is into witchcraft. I feel like it's wrong to burn witches at the stake. Yeah. I don't know. I respect like the Wiccan stuff a little bit more than the astrology stuff because the astrology stuff seems really far-fetched, whereas like Wiccanism is like very old age practices. And I also had people in my family who are Wiccans or practice Wiccanism. So it's a little different. So I have like a little bit of a different view on it for Wiccanism. And I can understand people seeing that as crazy too. Because I understand that like it's also a little bit crazy for me to say something like that. But I'll acknowledge that. Whereas this person's like, oh, if you see me as crazy, you're a bigot. Fuck off, shut the fuck up, I don't care. I'll acknowledge that me believing in Wiccanism or any of that type of stuff is like, you know, a little weird. Or like if I have any belief in it, it would be a little bit far-fetched and I will accept it. But this girl's like, no, these men are all like, they're all women haters and that's why they dislike astrology. It's like, stop that, don't do that shit. Is astrology scientifically proven? Ooh. Let's see, men always whip out the argument. There's no scientific evidence to support astrology. I hate to break it to you, but astrology and astronomy were actually studied together as a science until the 1700s. And then they broke apart. You know why? Anyway, kings and queens hired trusted astrologers to help them make political and military decisions, and medieval fishes. Okay, how much science do we believe in from back then? Just because it was studied because it's old, it doesn't mean it. Just because it's old doesn't mean it's right. Most of the old shit we believe is wrong. What the fuck? This isn't an argument. Okay, we'll keep reading. We'll see. Maybe she'll get better. Astrology didn't fall out of favor until the Enlightenment period. You mean when so many of our beliefs fell out of favor because none of them passed the Enlightenment test of like scientific, the scientific method? When the churches goes, no. That's when we declined the church during the Enlightenment period. That was the whole point of the Enlightenment period, was to move away from the church. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I can't do it. I can't with these people. I can't do it. Anyway, the people with the money got to shape what we study and know as a science today. There might be no scientific proof of astrology, but that's because there isn't funding for research. Maybe we were to fund a study on does technology go haywire during Mercury retrograde, the research would find that it does. You know what? I forgot that was part of astrology. Mercury retrograde, My shit always gets fucked up. My dad's shit gets fucked up. My shit get fucked up. My brother's shit got fucked up. Okay? The Mercury retrograde shit is weird, but I think that's more to do with like, maybe there's like magnetic poles during Mercury retrograde that make it worse. Oh my god, my throat's drying out so bad. It's gonna be a short stream because my throat is so gone. I've been doing a little too much of the... I have water somewhere here. There we go. Some studies have shown support for astrology. On a full moon? I know about the full moon one. I do know that more shit happens on a full moon. There is like weird stuff that happens during full moons. Like I know there's like increased increased car accidents, and then like vet visits, and then I think even hospitalizations go up on full moons, which is like super weird. But again, I always say there might be some validity to this. There might actually be some like ties between the stars and the moon and things that happen. There might be. I'm not completely disregarding it. I'm not wholesale buying it until I have like some proof for it. And also, I don't think it's like wrong to be like, people who like wholesale buy this are a little weird. All of those things can be true at the same time. I'm just saying. Women astrologists just need to meet their match and they will be fine. Male Scientology, that's a whole other thing. I've got the hiccups. What is wrong with me? People see more at night with a full moon. It's a bit brighter. Yeah, but then that wouldn't explain the increase in hospitalizations, or even like the increase in like emergency room visits. There's no straightforward answer why men generally dislike astrology. So this whole article is moot. But if I've learned one thing from my research, it's that it isn't going to change anytime soon. Toxic masculinity, dulled down newspaper star signs, meme culture, and social conditioning act as barriers to men discovering the richness of astrology. It's not their fault. Oh, poor men can't find astrology. Poor people can't find a weird religion. They're all cults. I don't care. Every religion is a cult. Every organized religion is a cult. I guess astrology is not an organized religion, but it's culty. True night is actual. It's incredibly dark and beautiful at the same time. Damn, light pollution. Yeah. I live in like Canada, so I can drive like 2 hours north from my city, and I'm like in the boonies. We can get that here like really easily because like light pollution is like all in the city area, in like one area. You drive 2 hours away from the city, and it's so pretty. You go 2 hours north of me, you can probably see the northern lights at times. Or in Alberta, I know you can see the northern lights all the time because it's so flat. And if you go to like, even like mid-range Alberta, you don't even have to go north. Just like go to like the mid area of Alberta, you can see the northern lights. It's great. It's beautiful. Okay, so interesting, stupid article. Weird, interesting, whatever. Fucking toxic masculinity ain't got shit to do with that. I go on a rant, but I'm holding back. How do we feel about the term toxic masculinity? I don't have a necessarily problem with it, but I've heard a lot of guys say that like they feel like anything masculine is being demonized as toxic. And I've heard that from a few different guys. And I get how that can come across. Because I don't necessarily dislike the term toxic masculinity because I think it has utility to describe a certain like behavior that comes out of like the societal masculinity that we've like created. But I also know a lot of guys who really hate the term because they feel like being masculine at all is now like considered toxic. I would like to see, because I think I have a lot of dudes in my chat. It'd be interesting to like get your guys' opinion on this. I think I'm also gonna wrap up stream like in probably like 20 minutes. It's gonna be like a short stream today because I'm tired. But I thought I'd do like a fun little like short stream. Hopefully I'll do another stream and I might continue with the religious stuff later this week and then slowly bring that into the philosophy. Because I think the first couple, like if I do that philosophy segment, I don't know how many of you are here for the beginning stream, but I'll talk about it at the end of the stream as well. But I want to do a philosophy segment with people on my channel. Having a couple more religious things, like I think it might feed well into like the first couple of philosophy readings I want to do, kind of center religion. I think the first ones we do are going to be around religion. And then I think I want to do ones around like legal and moral reasoning. It's a horrible term, similar to patriarchy. It puts blames on men to the average person when they're equally victims to it, and it was caused by both men and women. I can agree with that. I think patriarchy is a little bit different. I think patriarchy is probably a better term to use because patriarchy insinuates like a certain structure that already exists. Like it doesn't necessarily call it a single person because it's talking about a structure, like a system that exists. And it's also talking about like the dominance in society and that structure, like the dominant structure. So I think that one's okay. But I think like toxic masculinity, I can see how it's become like really difficult to use because I think a lot of people, when they hear toxic masculinity, they think that everything masculine is toxic. And I never saw the term that way, but I did talk to like guys in my life who've hear that term, and that's how they hear it, is that it's like any masculine trait is toxic. Toxic masculinity is only as bad as the person using it. Man-hating lesbians use the term toxic masculinity simply it just means men existing at all. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because I think when I say toxic masculinity, I'm talking about like the most toxic parts of like masculine culture and like modern society. But I'm not talking about like masculinity as a whole. I think masculinity is great. I think everyone like has traits of masculinity. I'm a very masculine person in my real life. On stream, I play it up with the camera, obviously, to get views, but yeah, it's fine. So I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with masculinity. So the way I use it isn't in that way. But now I'm like starting to see that it could be misconstrued when you use words like that. I think the term itself obfuscates reality. Is that how you spell obfuscate? I didn't think that's how you spelled that word. Anyway, obfuscate. I can't remember how to say the word. I had never had to say that word out loud. Obfuscate? Oh, now it's like I've said it too many times. I don't know what's right. Anyway, whatever. You know what I mean. Expand on that. I think I kind of get what you're going at, and I might agree with you, but I need you to expand. Men are fucked hard by societal standards. We're literally expected to see flat-out emotional abuse as a normal method of controlling them, and we don't complain because, again, we were raised not to. Yeah, but I think this happens to everyone in society. It's not like it's just a men thing or a woman thing. It's like everyone is subject to like harsh standards of society. I think men and women are just subjected to them in different ways. Like there's different things that happen to us that like, oh God. We could go back and forth on this all day, but like each gender has its own issues in society. And I don't think it's good to deflect onto one that is like, oh, it's so much harder for this group rather than this group. I think every group has its issues. And it's easy to say like, oh, this group has it harder, that... Oh, thank you, Darth Toucan. Why do you feel the need to remind that women also suffer? We all know that. I think because sometimes I worry when people talk about like, men are fucked hard by societal standards. I think sometimes like people get caught up in the idea that like, either only this group suffers or only this group suffers. So when like women come in and say like, women are like, I'll say it to a woman who comes into my chat and it's like, oh, women suffer so much. It's like, I would say like, yeah, but men also suffer. I think it's good to like, I think sometimes people get caught up in this narrative that this group suffers more than any other group. And maybe that wasn't what you're trying to say, but I think sometimes when people say statements like that, it comes off to everyone else as if you believe this group suffers way worse. And that like, oh, we're like so fucked over and like they don't understand because we're getting fucked over. Like, I don't know. I think maybe it's because I've been watching too much of like the Andrew Tate, Sneeko and all them recently. So it's hard for me to like see. Fair, I think a big unique factor for men suffering is nobody cares. I would agree to an extent. In a lot of ways, we care about men's issues way less, like especially when it comes to abuse, when it comes to family rights. I think like when it comes to men's mental health, like these are things where men get fucked over really hard. But I think when it comes to like women's ability to deal with like relationships or deal with like future planning between her and a person, like I'm going through this kind of currently right now. I think we care less about women in that case. It depends on the topic. It's, I got lost in my words there for a second. I was reading something on the other screen and I was going back and forth. You know what I'm seeing online right now on YouTube? Reviews for She-Hulk where the male content creator is blatantly putting on the kid gloves of misogyny for the review. It's pretty bad. I haven't watched any of the She-Hulk stuff because I just super don't care about Marvel anymore. After Endgame happened, I was like, that's the end of it for me. Like, I'm out of the Marvel scene after that because it's like, it was like I loved Marvel and I still do, but it's like all the characters that I grew up with are kind of gone. So for me, it's like where I'm ready to phase out of, like, I'm over superhero movies. Like I'm not watching any of the DC stuff or any of the Marvel stuff or any of the TV shows that are superhero based. Just because for me, I'm like, I don't know, I'm over it. Like I was like very super heroed out between like 2016 and 2021, whatever it was, whenever Endgame came out, and I'm like, I'm good. I'm happy. I can bounce out of the Marvel scene. So, but from the trailers I saw, it did not look good. It did not look good at all. She-Hulk seems bad, especially for what it does to the lore. Oh, I have no idea, but yeah, it just didn't look good. How impressive as how bad did you actually watch it? Like, did you go see it in theaters? Is it out of theaters? Is it still in theaters? I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know. I don't go to the movie theaters anymore. It's too expensive. I'll just wait for it to come out on TV and watch it at home. Oh, but yeah, fuck. That's the other thing, is like some things get such good reviews simply because like people don't want to criticize it. And I'm like, ugh. I think I had a whole stream. I think it's actually my highlighted stream on my channel, and it's only because that stream had someone say the N-word who jumped into my chat room. And so I had to like delete the VOD, but I highlighted everything around that one clip. And so the only highlighted VOD on my channel is the one where I'm talking about all of my movie review takes. And my stuff with like how many issues there are. Oh, thank you for the follow, Hamfruz. How many issues I have with like the movie industry, especially in its portrayal of women and stuff right now, it's really bad. But if you want like my opinions more on that, I think you might have been in that stream actually, Veldrain. But if you want more of my opinions on that stream is a really good one that I think like probably explains my opinions pretty well. I did watch episode 1 on Disney. Oh, is it? I thought it was a movie. Is it a TV show? Oh, fuck. I thought it was a movie that was coming out. Anyway, back to getting too heated about men's issues to make up for society never granting validity to them. Anger noises. Yeah. I don't know. I think we swung way too hard in like one direction when it came to like progress, and like we talked about how much we wanted equality and all this stuff, but I don't think equality comes from disregarding like certain groups. Like when we talk about like, you know, building an equal future, it shouldn't be about just raising women up. It should be about raising like women and men's, both men and women's like standard of living, right? Like we should address both of these issues if we want an equal society. But I think we focus more on the minority groups, like so women, people of color, LGBTQ. It's like, but it shouldn't just be like focusing on those groups, and those groups might need special like accommodations. Like when we talk about gay rights, it's like the reason that we're talking about gay rights is because like they need specific accommodations in the world, like, you know, getting access to like you know, being able to adopt and all these other type of things. So we can talk about specific issues, but I think like sometimes when we talk about like the progressive left, they've like left behind all the groups that they don't care about that aren't minorities, and it feels like really shit, because it's like if we're talking about progress to a better society, we need to make sure that everyone is taken care of, not just the groups that we want to care about, not just the minority groups. And it's like, yeah, these people have certain issues that we need to address, but it doesn't mean that these groups that like are the majorities don't have their own issues. Like men have a lot of issues that we need to address in society, but we like completely disregard them because we don't care about men. We just care about women right now. Because men's issues are sadistic in that they explicitly built around keeping them secret. Yeah, I can kind of agree with that, especially around like men's mental health and like discussing issues. Men are probably taught more not to like bring those up with other people. Women should be more masculine and men should be more feminine. Yeah, so much easier said than done. Trying to make absolutes out of spectrum and wondering why it doesn't work. I don't know who that was directed to, but I think I agree with that. Oops. What is that? Oh my goodness. Okay. Notifications are blowing up right now for no reason. Women should be, yeah, I don't know. I think like, fuck. The problem is with like the online sphere, because everything revolves around the online sphere right now, and the online sphere makes it so easy to become extremely polarized that like all we have is extremes left, right? You don't have average people, like, and I think that's why I tried to cultivate my platform in the way I did, but like everything online has to be extremely one way or extremely the other way. You know what I mean? Like we went from like women should have choices in how they want to like pursue happiness in their life to like women who are stay-at-home moms or like live a traditional lifestyle, or who are like, you know, Christian like housewives, these people are like not good. And it's like, damn, that was not the place we were supposed to get to. We were supposed to get to like everyone should be equal and everyone should have the choice to live how they want. It's like women issues are burning, men issues are methane gas. Yeah. Or not methane, the really toxic one. Oh, you're talking about like CO2? Like carbon dioxide poisoning? How people kill themselves sometimes in their car? Isn't that what it is? Is it CO2? I don't know. Men can be emotional, but it's very, very difficult. Masculinity is not strong. That's a horrible falsehood that's been around since ever. Yeah, I would agree. Oh, yeah, carbon monoxide. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, we all know what you're talking about. Men can be emotional, but it's very, very difficult. I don't think so. I don't think it's inherently difficult. I think it's difficult because of like the way that society's set up, that it suppresses men's emotionality. Like it requires men not to be emotional, and I don't think we should live in that society. I don't think we should encourage that. But I think the society that we've built is that men can't be emotional. I don't think it's inherent to like men that they can't be emotional though. But I think some people would disagree with that. If we were emotional, it's used against us. Yeah, I would probably maybe somewhat agree with that. But again, you gotta remember, the reason it's used against you is because it's seen as a feminine trait, and like the negativity of being emotional comes from it being feminine and being attached to like womanliness. So like you can also say that like that's also, and like a lot of these issues are like very interconnected between the sexes. So like a lot of the issues that women face are connected to like men, and a lot of the issues that men face are connected to women. So the issue with being like emotional is that it's seen as feminine and womanly, and we like often in society degrade traits that are associated with the female gender, which is like, I think if you look at a lot of the like, what is being a woman even though? I don't know, the societal like typical outline of, I don't know, it's hard to, fuck. Are you gonna ask me for like strict definitions? Okay, I had this conversation with my mom. I will say this. I had this conversation with my mom when we were talking about like trans issues and stuff, and I'm pretty like pro trans rights and stuff like that. But like when we talk about defining like terms of like what is a woman or what is feminine, a lot of times these things you can't just give like a hard straight line definition, because these things are conceptual and not like nouns, right? Like they're not things, they're concepts. So it's hard to say like this concept is just this. It's usually like a concept has a bunch of like what is it called? Definers, but not like but these definers can be like what is it? Substantive, but not necessary. So like you might have like a concept, like the concept of woman, and it might have a bunch of definers, and you just need like a few of them to like actually be considered like a woman. I don't know. It's a really hard thing, but like these things are much more conceptual, and it's hard to like when people like, that's why I hated like Matt Walsh's documentary where he asked people what is a woman. It's a really hard thing to define, and most people can't define it in simple terms that include everything that is a woman and don't exclude anything and exclude everything that's not a woman without excluding anything that is necessary but not sufficient. Thank you. I couldn't remember that line. I appreciate that. Thank you, Hemprus. It's one of those things where like, yeah, you can have like a bunch of like qualities that are sufficient but not necessary, or like necessary but not sufficient. I don't know. I don't like asking the term like Matt Walsh's documentary. I don't know if anyone watched that. I didn't watch it, but everyone saw the commercials on YouTube for it, where you just ask people what is a woman, and it's like that's a really hard thing to define. Like it's like trying to define what is a chair. If anyone that's in the chat can give me the definition of a chair that includes everything that is a chair, and doesn't exclude anything excludes everything that isn't a chair. And isn't just like a vague definition. Like you could say that anything that is used for sitting, but that can include stools, and is a stool a chair, right? Like now you get into weird territories, and it's the same thing with like being a woman or being a man. It's like a really hard thing to define, because you get into weird territories of like what counts, what doesn't count, what is biological, what isn't, like what is inherent, what count, like what is part of it. Oh, thank you, Beldrain. I appreciate you. A stool is a chair, well, but then why is it called a different thing? Is it a type of chair? Is it a chair? Like, is it a subcategory? Is it something different? Is a chair just anything you sit on? But then like you could sit on things that aren't a chair. I can sit on my bed, it's not a chair, right? So like defining certain concepts is really hard because they're not like a chair is a noun, but the category of chair is not a noun. It's a concept. And same thing with like being a woman is like, it's a concept, but it's not like a single thing. So it becomes really hard to define them. Am I making any sense? I feel like I'm a little bit too tired to like be describing this right now. A stool is a subset of chair that lacks a backrest. Okay, cool. The question is, what is a man isn't any better. True. So far as answering it. Yeah. Like you can't really answer these things. Like at least not in simple terms. Like you would need time to like write out kind of like necessary and sufficient definers, and then figure out like what constitutes. And like I don't like the definition of like anything that it like, because like now we have this whole like thing on the left, and I hate this where the people are like, oh, anyone who identifies as a woman is a woman. Well, it's not really like a useful definition because now anyone who like just because someone identifies one way or another and changes like if I right now identified as a man, it doesn't really like change anything intrinsically about me or inherently like or like externally or like internally about me. So it doesn't really give anyone information if I say like all it takes is like me to identify as something that makes me the thing. But then to anyone else that doesn't really mean much. If I could just identify right now, then it doesn't really give anyone useful information if I say I am a man or I'm a woman, right? So like the self-ID thing is probably not a good argument. Anyway, that's a whole other discussion. I did a lot of trans topics on here for a while because there's all these bills going through. Maybe we'll get back into it. Maybe. I feel like it's always an interesting conversation. Oh my God, it's getting late. It's almost 1 a.m. for me. Shit. Okay. I'm gonna do one last talk on my upcoming upcoming additions to these streams. And there's a lot of you in chat right now, so I will talk about it now, because then anyone who's here who's not really on my Discord can get information and can join the Discord. So going forward, I do a lot of political and legal stuff on the stream right now, where I cover like bills, I cover court cases and all that type of stuff, and I'll consider like political stories or social justice stuff. I'll cover all that on my channel. But what I want to do going forward is also start a philosophy segment, because I talk about philosophy a lot on my stream and I enjoy philosophy. Obviously, I'm no academic expert, but I enjoy talking about it. I think it's an interesting thing, and I think a lot of my viewers here also like the philosophy stuff. So I think going forward, what I want to do is each week I'm going to post like a section of a reading, like a philosophy reading in my Discord, depending on what it is. It might be like an article written by a philosopher, or I might be doing like an actual like philosophy book, like something from Plato or something from like Kierkegaard, and I'll post like that section of the reading into my Discord, and then anyone who wants to read it can read it, and then kind of like gather your thoughts on it, figure out what your interpretation is, and then there will be like a sign up schedule. So like maybe I think it'll be 3 people. I think I'll have 3 people on with me per week. So you can sign up to be like on the panel discussion. And I think I'll have like 3 viewers jump into like a Discord room with me, and we'll spend like just 1 hour of the stream discussing and kind of going back and forth on our interpretations and debating kind of what we got out of the philosophy reading. I don't want to like too much like I like the academic stuff. I think it'd be kind of fun because I think like philosophy could be really interesting. So I think that'd be kind of like a fun way to like I both get all of you guys into like the stream a little bit more and have like better discussion, because it's like the chat is cool, but like having like voice interactions I think is a little bit easier, because then you're not trying to keep up with chat and trying to keep up with me. It's all over the place. But I think if like every week we'll have 3 people sign up to discuss like whatever reading I post that week. If it seems interesting to you, you can sign up to have like come on, and I'll try to keep it even. Like if I will try not to like have people on like multiple weeks in a row. The only other thing, thank you for the cheering. The only other thing is I have to find someone who will be willing to moderate, and I might ask a couple of friends to see if anyone would want to moderate that discussion, and take care of like kind of, because I want to be part of the discussion, so I can't moderate the debate while also being part of it. So I might see if I have like a friend or somebody else I can reach out to who would come in for that time of the week and like moderate the discussion for us. So that's just for everyone, because there's a lot of people in here right now. That is something I will be doing. So if you're interested in that type of stuff, my Discord's below. I'll probably be posting something over the weekend that's like a write-up of like how those will go, and what the first readings will be. And I'll try to start, I want to start that in the next couple of weeks. Just depending on how much time I have. I've got a little bit of a busy schedule right now. But yeah, so if you're interested in that, please join the Discord, because that is something that will be going up probably over the weekend, at least like the initial thoughts on it. And I'll probably get feedback from you guys, and then we'll try to set it up in the next week or two of like starting that philosophy segment. So yeah, that's going forward. That was just like the update to the channel, like things we're gonna be adding to the stuff we talk about. Okay, Gucci Down, welcome. Let's talk about the philosophical explanation of lesbians using fake dicks but saying they don't like real dick. Penetration feels good, but they don't like men. That's literally all there is to it. Because you can like penetration, but just not like men. Like, I got a question. If there was a dude with a pussy, would you fuck at him? Like, just because, like, even if he has, like, if he has, like, a, because then, like, you're saying there's, like, no difference, right? And it's just the genitals that matter, but no, the whole person matters. Genitals can be important, but it's not, it's not, like, you know, the whole thing. Are we talking about a quote in a vacuum, or the person in question overall with the saying or quote, or am I thinking too far ahead? Wait, what? No, it'll be like a, I'll get like not articles, but like PDFs of like philosophy readings. So it might be a chapter out of a certain book, and like I'll send that chapter out on the Discord, and people can read that chapter and like interpret it. And it might be like we go chapter by chapter from a book. And I'll try to find ones online that I can like download as PDF and then send it out in the Discord so people have access to it. That's probably the way I'll do it. But yeah, it's gonna be like a whole, like, I'll try not to keep them too, like, I'll try to keep them short so people actually have time to like fit into their schedule. Like, it'll probably be no more than like a 15-minute read type of thing. And you won't need like all your thoughts. It'll just be kind of like if you have like a general interpretation, something you got out of it, then like if you feel like you have enough to say on a Discord panel, then like you could sign up. Yeah. Why does it look like a dick? I don't know. Not all dildos look like dicks, first of all. And it's probably just the easiest shape to like form, because you know that that shape is already like kind of adept to, you know, fit. Oh. It's because the only thing that's naturally made to penetrate is dick. Well, anything phallic shaped, to be fair. But it's probably just because like that's like the easiest thing to base it off of. Like if you're gonna make something that goes in there and you know that this thing goes in there, that's probably an easy way to like create that shape, right? Fingers are naturally made to penetrate to some degree. And anal beads don't look like dicks. Lesbians are capping, that's my point. Are you stupid? What? Why would you cap about that? What would be the actual point? What's the point? Tell me. Like, why do gay guys, what about like gay men? Do you think gay men are capping because they still like want to fuck a butt? Like they still want to penetrate something, so they must be capping? What's the difference between penetrating a butt and penetrating a pussy at that point? The fuck? To be fair, more than 50% of men would fuck a dude with a pussy and yell no homo as they do it. Maybe. I doubt it though. I think a lot of guys would not do that. There's no shot. I don't believe you. To be fair, I'd fuck a dude with a pussy. That's because you're bi. I'm bi. I would fuck anything. That's not true. I wouldn't fuck anything. I'm just saying, like, for bi people, it's a lot easier, but people who are straight, it's not the same. Or people who are like fully gay. No, that's a mental issue. Bro, chill. You're a fucking loser. You're probably a virgin fuck, okay? Chill out. Fucking virgins on my chat coming in here talking about sex. Annoying. Lesbians are capping quotes by Twitch chat, literally. What would be the point? Why? Like, what would be the point of capping about that? There's no plausible explanation to lie about that. Why do lesbians not do men? They aren't attracted to them, maybe? Yeah, exactly. Thank you, chat. Look at you guys. Stepping in. I forgot there's talking in the back of this music, and that scared the shit out of me when I realized. I was like, somebody's talking. And I was like, no, it's in this song. Let's skip forward so it's out of the talking stage. Why would you not just be bi if you could be? True. Like, I'm bi. It just makes everything easy in my life. Bitch, I'm not a virgin. I wouldn't sleep with you. But if I had the pleasure, you'd be... Dick. Doubt it. Fucking lame, bro. Chill. Ugh. Why are you so obsessed with like lesbian sex then? Were you like rejected by a lesbian and now you're like all pissed about it and you're like they're definitely capping because they're using a strap on? Like, bro, why do you care so much? Okay. Homosexuality is a mental health issue. I'd like to welcome back the chat to the 1950s. This is where you left. Exactly. If I had the pleasure... Bro, chill. Bro, chill. Fucking loser. He held the rose. Welcome to chat. Things went off the rails the minute you got here. I'm from Chechnya. I don't even know where that is. I'm bad at geography. I don't care where you're from. Where is that? I've heard of it. No idea where it is in the world. Actually, no clue. Oh, you're in Russia. Oh, that makes so much sense now. Okay, that makes more sense. I understand now. You're from Russia. That's totally fine. It makes sense. You don't have anything called gays there? Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's because you guys keep killing them all, I'm pretty sure. I'm not in Russia, you idiot. You just said you're from Chechnya. When I looked it up, that's in Russia. Am I, like... Oh, God. How do you spell it? Hold on. Let me try this again. Oh, my God. There we go. Republic of Russia? Oh, Russian Republic. Whatever. Same thing. You guys are... Whatever. Okay, I sincerely... You're part of the Russian Republic, though? Okay. Well, my bad. I'm sorry, dude. Sucks to suck. I already told you I'm bad at geography. I had no idea. I told you I was bad at geography. I wasn't gonna know where you were from. Oh, okay. Cool. Have fun in Chechnya. You a good dog. Damn! We don't have, do you know who Andrew Tate is? Streamer knew I was gonna ask. The straightest country on earth is Chechnya and all the Arab countries. Yeah, that's because you can't, it's not legal to be out. It's illegal to be gay. If it's illegal to be gay, why would you ever come out? No shit, you don't have any gays there. It's because no one comes out of the closet. Oh my God. Fucking loser. Obscure regional politics. I don't know what's going on. Bro, if you're gonna keep being annoying in my chat, I'm just gonna like fucking ban you. We'll do let's do a 5-minute ban. There we go. Cool. Because I don't care and he's boring me with his, I don't know, homophobic bullshit. I don't care that much, okay? We're just banning it. It's gay. It was funny for the first like couple of seconds to go back and forth, but then it just gets really boring when they keep going down the same thing, you know? Like I'll talk back and forth for a bit, but then the minute I get bored with like you being a stupid fucking cunt in my chat, I'm like, okay, whatever, banned. Bring something interesting to the discussion, you know? If you're interesting, I won't ban you. But when you keep saying the same thing over and over, it just gets boring. And then I'm like, I'm banning you because you're boring. More than anything. You know? Being brown empowered. Nah, do you... there are plenty. On the topic of homophobia. I don't know why so many people are bi now, though. Like, pick one front to lose on. Damn. That was me. Actually, you know what? I joke. I do pretty well in the dating scene. I thought I would do a lot worse when I started dating because I'm kind of a shithead. So I kind of get it when people don't like me. But I did much better dating than I thought I would. So I haven't, but I will say as a bi person, I don't know how guys put up with girls. Dating girls on dating apps was like the worst thing. It was so bad. It was so flaky. Like guys, if I asked them like to meet up, let's go get coffee, it was like down instantly. Girls, it was so hard to make plans with them. Like, is this what I'm like with other people? And I'm like, oh my God, I kind of am. I learned after that. I was like, I gotta stop doing this because this is terrible. So I changed after that. Anyway. Weird side tangent of my dating life, of my previous dating life. I thought I was straight for a long time, and then I saw Astolflo? And man, cock looked, damn. Is that a porn star? I don't understand the appeal, but good for you. See, that's the thing. Guys who are bi, I'm like, damn. Because me, I'm like, girls are so pretty. But guys aren't that pretty. I like the look of Get. Like a lot of men. A lot of men are good looking. But like, when I sext with people, I don't like nudes from dudes. But nudes from girls are okay. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. No offense, men. Your nudes are just never as good. This is getting into weird territory. I'm gonna have to wrap up stream soon. We're just getting to weird places. It's 1 a.m. So we're getting into weird. I'm just straight, but that's the conclusion. Not reached with some experimentation. Okay. Oh, wait. Whoa, damn. Good job. Heal the Rose. Thank you for the follow. I am going to be wrapping up stream. So, the philosophy stuff I talked about earlier, for anyone who was listening to that, please join my stream or my Discord server. And I will be putting updates out over the weekend, hopefully. I'm gonna try to write up like a little document of how those philosophy discussions are gonna go, how you're gonna have to access the readings, how much reading it will be, and then how the sign up will work. I'm gonna try to figure out all that this weekend so that I can finally get like that philosophy discussion going. I think it'll be really interesting. So anyone who's interested in that, please join my Discord. If you like philosophy, it'll be a fun time. You don't need to be an expert. I'm not an expert. Question, is it okay not to date people off of race? I will quickly answer this. I am a person of color. I will not be offended if someone doesn't want to date me off my race. I will not date my own race, simply because of like cultural reason. Like I won't date my own ethnicity or even like people in my race, like people who are brown in general from like South Asia, because I've had a lot of issues with the culture. There's a lot of reasons I pull back. I think a lot of it is like not necessarily whether you will or will not date people of a certain race. It's like sometimes the reason why, and like how strict is that? Like, would you never date a person of color because you're wanting to keep the white bloodline and you think that these people are going to mess up your bloodline? That's a little bit more weird than just being like, I don't know, I'm not typically attracted. Like there's not a lot of people from this race I find attractive. They just don't appeal to me, so I don't typically date them. But if I found someone I really connected with, maybe that'd be different, right? Those are two vastly different statements, but they both have like limits on race dating, right? So it can be okay. It just needs to be like, I think like the reasoning matters more than just like the final thing is like, yeah, if someone didn't want to date me because they're like, I don't know, I typically don't find brown features attractive, or like the cultural aspects are like something that I don't want to get involved with. I'm not super like traditional or anything, but like I can understand someone saying that. Whereas if someone was said to me like, I'm not dating you because you're gonna mess up my white bloodline, I'd be like, bro, I'm about to throw hands. What the fuck? Right? So just, yeah, I think that's my stance. It's like, it can be fine. I wouldn't hold it against someone who doesn't want to date me because I'm brown, but it depends on why more than anything. I find Indian, Persian, and half Caucasian, half Hispanic women very attractive. Why? I have no effing clue. Yeah, and it might just be certain features look really attractive to you. Like Indian women to me, I don't think I'd date them, but Indian women have like beautiful eyes. And I got that a little bit. Like my eyes are quite big, but Indian women, like I'm Indian. And I got a little bit of it, like the really, like I think my eyes are really nice because I've got really big eyes and really dark lines. But I think Indian women typically just have such beautiful like eyes. But like other people might not be attracted to that feature as much. So maybe they're like, oh, I don't like the big eyes. I like I don't know, I don't like really bold features or something on women. So like I'm not as attracted to that race. And I think that's totally fine. You can't control what your preferences are. I'm trying to breed and albino here. I'm sorry. Damn. Oh, you don't even know what tradition is? How do you know? How the fuck do you know I don't know what my traditions are? Just because I'm not traditional doesn't mean I don't know what the traditions. I know tradition, like, of my culture. I'm just not very traditional because I'm not super connected to my culture in that way. I'm Arabian and I would never have kids with an Indian. Ooh, big burn. Jeez, like, I don't care. Do whatever the fuck you want. Take care is very fun. Yeah, hopefully I'll be streaming back in a couple of nights from now. Maybe possibly tomorrow night, depending on how late I'm out, but we'll see. But I will try to stream again over the weekend. And again, like, if you're interested in the philosophy stuff, please join the Discord, because I think that's gonna be really fun, and I want to like be able to connect with like my viewers more. Because I like having these discussions. That's what my whole platform was supposed to be about, was like having these discussions. And I was just been trying to find ways to like set up more interpersonal discussions on the, or not interpersonal, but like voice chat discussions. And I think that'd be a better way to do it, because then I could also vet people who are coming in. Like people who I don't know, it's gonna be hard to like bring them on because I don't know. But like a lot of people who are in my chat a lot, and like people who I know I've trusted in my chat, like it's easier to bring them on, you know? I like the long prominent pointed nose. I like long prominent pointed. Oh Jesus Christ! Oh my God, Emzoran, chill, chill. I have some Indian maids though. God, oh my God, what? Like, do you enjoy being like a cunt in people's chat, like just for no reason? Is that like all you have to do with your life? You're just like bored in every other aspect, so you're like, this is what I do on a Thursday night, Thursday evening, or oh yeah, Friday morning, I guess technically. I just long live Jordan. Okay, whatever. Anyway, yeah, if you're into this in the philosophy stuff, join the Discord. Actually, join the Discord for anything. Get updates. Talk to me. If you want to send me political stories or court cases or legal proceedings that are happening, or any bills that are being passed in legislation, you can send those to me and I review them on my stream. I try to do like a layman's interpretation of bills and legal stuff, so that's usually what there just hasn't been any major bills that I've been able to cover lately, but usually I like to do a lot of legal stuff because that's like my main interest. But I also want to start up the philosophy stuff, so hopefully we can get that in the next little while. Yeah, so if you're interested in that, and if you've enjoyed the stream, please join the Discord. It's a good time. I have a Twitter. I don't really use it, but you can follow it. I just don't post on it very often, but I'm gonna try. I should also try to link my TikTok, because I'm gonna start using my TikTok more to post clips from stream. But I'm very bad with social media. I have an Instagram. I also don't use that, but I don't link that to because that's a personal Instagram, but I am not good with social media. Twitch is like the only thing I use right now. Twitch and like Twitter. Anyway, that was a really long outro, but I think I'm gonna wrap up here for tonight because I'm getting kind of rambly and I'm tired and it's past 1 a.m. So it's time for me to go to bed. But I appreciate everyone who's hung out and discussed tonight and had been in chat. It's been a good time. It's been a good conversation. So hopefully I'll be back sometime in the next few days for another stream when I get stuff updated more. And I will try to post everything in the Discord for the philosophy stuff, because that's the big thing I want to do. I got really excited about that this week. I kind of started to plan it, and hopefully I'll be done planning by the end of the weekend. It's a little bit of a busy weekend, but we'll see. Hopefully we're getting there. And I think the day for the philosophy nights are going to be Wednesday, but I also might do a poll in the Discord to see what day most people would be interested in doing the philosophy chats. So Wednesday I'm leaning towards, but if I have a lot more people who are interested in doing it on a different day of the week, we can switch that. So yeah, that's everything going on. So I think I'm going to end stream. Thanks for hanging out. Good night.